Coming to you live from the barracks. This is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Ben.
And we are starting a kind of recent classic legacy game, Aeon's End Legacy.
Cool.
I'm excited. I've made it about 3 chapters in before with a group that kind of fell apart, so I've done a reset pack on this version that we played.
All right.
And how's your experience with Aeon's End?
This is my first time ever seeing it. I looked up how to play this game on YouTube before I came here, and that's my experience with this.
Yeah. Well, part of the reason I thought when we played Aeon's End we should just play the Legacy one is because it is actually very simple as a starting point, and a good. It's weird. It's probably the only example in board gaming of like the Legacy version of a game being like the best way to learn, I think. But that's the way they handled it here.
Yeah, the best way to learn a game is by making really impactful decisions that you can't change later.
Exactly.
Great. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, let's do it.
I hadn't thought about it that way. It is a little daunting to not know a game, and because there will be some impactful changes that change the game, or some impactful decisions that change the game.
No, I love it. Let's go.
We'll see. Yeah, I think as soon as you, the viewer, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, we will dive into Deck L, the Legacy deck.
Deck L.
See what's up. It says, this is the front of the Legacy deck. Do not open this deck until instructed to do so. And I guess I should say, so the structure of this campaign is that you, if you fail a boss the first time, you try it again. If you fail the second time, you move on. I'm guessing that we'll just have one video for each boss. I'm not a fan of like having multiple videos of the same like scenario of a game because we lost the first time, that type of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So probably it's not going to be a series of every trial and tribulation unless we win them all, which is likely.
That's definitely what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of tribulations, we know we're against the Maelstrom, but because we've done the initial setup, but we do not know the story. On the morning of your ordeal, you awake to your barracks door slamming open. Brahma and Mist. I'm just realizing I meant to give you sort of a light briefing of the setting of the game, and I haven't done that, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll just read this cold.
Giant metal spiky ball and some spells and stuff. I got the gist.
It's a fantasy post-apocalypse. Humanity has discovered these breaches that energy comes from, and we can use them to cast spells to fight these huge Pacific Rim-esque monsters attacking us and our stronghold. That's roughly what you need to know.
Hell yeah, let's get my mech.
All right.
What's the mech card?
I don't think. No, there are mechs, but I don't think there are in scenario 1 of Legacy.
As long as there's mech cards eventually, I'm happy.
There are definitely, or at least there are robots.
Cool.
I'm sold. I don't know if you ever go inside them. Anyway, on the morning of your ordeal, you awake to your barracks door slamming open. Brahma and Mist enter, lifting a wounded breach mage, Zazos, from a stretcher to one of the empty beds. You arrogant fool, Brahma chides. Zazos clutches his injured side. We need the power, he groans. I didn't know. You have doomed us all, Mist snaps, pressing 2 fingers against her temple trying to concentrate. Outside, alarm bells ring as an earthquake shakes the very foundation of the building. In the distance, you hear explosions. Mist looks grave. It is here. Zazos, face white with terror, moans, no! Brahma and Mist leave Zazos as they rush to defend Gravehold, and you follow, knowing you must do whatever you can to help. You emerge into chaos. Gravehold is burning and screams fill the air. Above you, a breach swirls, the largest you've ever seen, expelling a colossal orb of blades. I guess that's probably what's pictured here. Fireballs pelt the Nameless, but its minions are plentiful. That's right, Nameless. Nemesis is the game word for boss, and Nameless is the general term for the giant creatures, I think.
Okay.
I get those confused a lot. But
that's like the kaiju.
Exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, Fireballs pelts the Nameless, but its minions are plentiful. You can only watch as one mage is torn to pieces by a bladed warrior. As the flames push back the darkness, you see the hulking form of your foe descending, surrounded by its ruthless army. Brahma staggers away from the fray, coughing and cradling a freshly wounded arm. Desmodia and Malistar are holding the line, but we're overwhelmed. You have much to learn, but there is no time to spare. Gather your wits and hold off these creatures however you can. Focus on the minions to protect the breach mages. You must work together. Give them the openings they need and let us focus on the Nameless. Each of you are a link in the chain. Do not break. It says to read Maelstrom's setup instructions, then fight Maelstrom and save Gravehold. That's what the non-flavor text instruction says is fight Maelstrom and save Gravehold. So, all right.
Easy as that.
We're on it, yeah.
Cool.
At the end of your game versus Maelstrom, if you won, read the back of this card. If you lost, read the front of a different card.
Okay. And when we set up, I remember on the back it said we draw an assist card at the top. Is that right? Or
Yeah, so for this, it had us place an unshuffled assist deck on the table exactly as it comes out of the box, and the nemesis deck is also unshuffled. It's very scripted for this scenario. And then the setup said to draw the top card of the nemesis deck and place it into play. So that's the Doom Crawler that we've already put into play. It has the persistent ability, any player suffers 1 damage, so we're bleeding from the start. And all we still have is a couple sparks that deal 1 damage each, so even doing just 4 to it is not going to be quick and easy.
Right, yeah. It's gonna take, and it takes a turn to load all the cards too, right? So it's gonna take a minute. Yeah, cool.
Yep, so I think expect to lose some health off the bat.
I love that.
With that, we are ready to start. Turn order is random in this game. It's gonna start with the nemesis.
Great.
So first, the Doom Crawler is gonna activate, any player suffers 1 damage. I'll take the damage. And then we draw. Maelstrom emerges. Gravehold is under siege. As apprentices, you are not prepared, but you must fight. If you're playing with 1, 2, or 3 players, discard the top 4, 4, or 2 cards of the Nemesis deck respectively. Place this card in the Nemesis discard pile, then draw a new Nemesis card. Okay, so this is where the deck scales to the number of players. All right, so we're discarding 4 cards for 2 players.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
We're not going to encounter Raining Daggers, the Eye Grinder, a Storm of Knives, or the Slice attack.
Okay.
Who needs them? And then it said to draw another one?
To draw another one.
That sucks. How about Impale? It's an attack, so this is going to happen right away. It unleashes and then assists. Unleash for Maelstrom is Gravehold suffers 3 damage, so we're down to 27. And assist, why don't you draw the top card of the assist deck?
All right. Mist's Fury. The battle rages on, and the air is filled with ash, clouding your vision. Suddenly, Mist whips a lava tendril from the fog, striking the Nameless hard enough to crack its outer shell. Mist deals 10 damage to Maelstrom.
Hell yeah.
So that seems really good.
Yeah, it's down to 89.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're seeing, like, the flavor text said focus on the minions, like, we'll get the Nameless. That's sort of what's happening.
I like how we're not competent, but at least our allies are. Like, our allies seem, like, 10 damage from what I've seen of this game seems like a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, no,
So-
you never do 10 at once.
Yeah.
So they are. And these, this came on the heels of like 3 other waves of expansions for this. Like, these are all playable characters from the previous boxes.
Oh, super cool.
Yeah, so they are. You are like rookies in this, playing alongside the characters that you've probably played as before if you're an Aeon Zen fan.
Very rad. That's super cool.
Okay, that was the Nemesis turn. Let's see if we get one. Frosty, which we didn't introduce our characters. There's nothing mechanically to them other than their names, but I am this little twink frost mage named Frosty, and it's my turn. So I will prep a spark, and I have 4 crystals. I should probably buy a gem so that I have more money in the future. So I have 4, so I'll buy a branching radite, which will gain me 2 ether and an extra one if I have 2 or more prepped spells, which I will have to work on, but kind of makes it a little stronger later into the game than it would be.
Yeah. And something we can take advantage of pretty soon, I think. If I
I hope so.
understand things right.
Oh,
Sorry.
bone ring. You're good. Okay, that is my turn. I will discard everything I played, draw the 5 cards from my deck, and let's see who's next. It's you.
Awesome.
Life?
Yep.
Leaf? What did you land on?
I was saying leaf earlier, and then you said spell it a funny way, and so I'm doing that. And now it's going to change probably every time I say the name. But leaf right now.
L-Y-F-E, leaf.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and you're an elven archer-ish person.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
So Elven Archer, I'm in. So I'm going to have basically the identical turn. So I'm going to prep the Spark and the Open Breach, and then use 4 crystals to buy the Branching Radite for all of the same reasons that you just said.
That makes sense. All right, and draw your new hand of 5 cards.
Yes.
And then it's my turn again. So I will cast my Spark at the start of my turn, dealing 1 damage to the Doomcrawler. 25% dead. We're doing this. I'll prep another Spark. I might, since I bought that gem before, I think I want to up my firepower a little bit going forward. I have 4 crystals again, so 4 ether to spend. I'll buy this fire chakram that costs 2. And, oh man, have you played The Case of the Golden Idol?
No.
It's a like mystery solving game. Anyway, I was doing a DLC case from it the other night, and it involved someone taking a chakram to the head and dying that way. So I learned
Brutal.
I now know what chakrams are, and that they're not usually on fire.
Oh,
but this is a fire chakram.
Cool. That's fancy.
Anyway, so that cost me 2, and then I think for my other 2, I will go ahead and focus my second breach to make it cheaper to open in the future. And Nemesis is up, and then you know you'll be after it. But first, Doomcrawler is going to damage someone. You want to take this one?
Yeah, I can take this one.
And then a Crust Smasher shows up, which says Persistent, Gravehold suffers 2 damage.
Okay, so now the little minions are also fighting the city, which is a problem.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, and these are like weird like metal bugs. Cool. That's that. It's your turn, and then while you take your turn, I'll shuffle the turn order deck because we've been through it.
So I think I'm gonna try something a little different, and we'll see how this goes. So same thing, I have 4 and 2. I'm gonna spend my 2 to focus my breach, which will leave the spark. I'm gonna leave the 2 sparks here. That's 2.
Okay.
And then, but I will also end up spending the 2 that I have for the fire chakram.
Nice.
So the reason for that is because the Raidite we just bought, this should get me an additional $1 next turn. If I'm understanding.
It will, yeah, compared to your previous turn. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I think you'll actually have, since you're not going to have a spark in that next hand, I think you'll have a lot of money.
Cool.
The way you've done it. Yeah.
I like that.
Cool. All right, fresh turn order deck. It's you again.
Oh, all right.
Leaf.
So, and I just.
Yep, flip over your discard pile into your draw pile. It feels weird.
It feels wrong. It feels really wrong.
It's very, when you've played other deck building games that are new to Aeon's, it's very easy to forget that and shuffle. So
yeah,
be conscious of it. But yeah, it's weird.
That goes like everything against I've ever known playing games. It's like, what do you mean?
And then you get used to it in this, and then sometimes bosses, as their attacks on you and stuff, force you to shuffle your deck, and it feels violating. It feels real bad in Aeon's End when you have to shuffle your deck, even though that's something you just do constantly in other deck building games.
That's cool. I like that they take a typical mechanic that's for granted and then just change it in a way like it kind of hurts. So
for sure.
And as you predicted with my turn here, I have a lot of money because I have my Branching Radar, which gets me 2 plus 1 because I have 2 spells prepped.
Oh, well, although, bad news about that.
Yeah.
In your casting phase, you must cast the spell that's prepped to a closed breach.
Oh,
yeah, so before you play any of those. What? So you can cast both as many of them as you'd like, but you must cast that one.
Understood. Okay. So then, well, I guess we will ping it, since then you can destroy that one. So we'll ping the Doomcrawler for 2.
I like it. And then I can finish it off if I get a turn next.
Yep. Okay, so my radar play isn't as cool as I thought it was, but I still have a bunch of money, which seems good. So 5 ether?
6, right? 2 from
1, 2, yes. Yeah. I can't math. So I always want to use the most, and I feel like I don't know if it scales like a typical deck building game where money is like early, especially this early in the game, feels like a really good thing to get.
I think that's a good approach. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So my instinct is correct, and then I'll stick my radite on top, and these all.
Yeah. So that gilded marble that gains 3. Yeah, that's a good buy.
Yes. So now I should have a bit more consistent flow.
Yeah. It's funny, as far as a player who's played a lot of Aeon's End, looking at these, they're so underpowered. Like just 6 for 3 with no like additional text is a bad card, but it's what we got to work with here at the start.
Yep.
Okay, next turn. Me, Frosty.
Cool.
Okay, I will follow your lead. Spark the Doomcrawler. It is dead.
Oh, draw cards.
And actually, I guess it makes sense because we bought the Raidite at the same time. I have the same hand you do.
Cool.
So 6 ether to spend. But even though I do think you made a good play, I'm going to, for fun, make a different play and take this ethereal hand. It costs 6 and says any ally draws 2 cards. And an ally does not include yourself. So I just bought a card that makes you draw 2 cards every time I play it. So get your breaches open, get lots of spells, and I'll try to give you big turns. Is sort of what this maybe leads to.
I like that. That makes sense because I was kind of, I keep wanting to play after you. Like I can't help like this. There's a lot of norms that this kind of subverts that I'm.
The turn order thing takes some getting used to too.
Yeah.
Speaking of turn order, you are next.
Hey.
So you weren't wrong.
All right. See, just I have prescience. I do not. So I have 4 with my crystals, 4 ether, and the fire chakram, which I will prep on my open breach. And, oh, I see. So if I focus this now, then I don't have anything to put. Oh, could I focus this and then put this here?
You could. It's kind of all downside, though, because then you would have to cast it rather than having the option to.
I see.
Yeah, it's mostly useful to focus breaches and prep there if you just have extra spells in hand.
Okay, well then this turn I will spend my 4 crystals and buy the Incinerating Fist to start pumping up some damage abilities.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping I'm not next because it means the nemesis would be taking at least 2 turns in a row.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Let's see the nemesis go. Nope, it's me. Oh, good. Okay. Well, I wish I could take this out, but it looks like Gravehold's going to take a lot of damage. Okay, well, I have Fire Chakram to prep to my open breach. I have just 3 crystals and a spark. I could open this breach, but it feels bad to not spend all my money, so I think I'm going to focus this one for 3 and prep the spark in there. I don't know if that's actually the better play than just having a breach open, but it uses all my money efficiently, and that feels good.
That does sound good.
So
it's very pleasing.
Yeah. And don't forget to draw your new hand at the end of your turn. I'm drawing 1 card, then flipping and drawing the rest. Okay, well,
I feel like knowing the top of my deck also like decreases my want to draw. It's I know what's there, right? Like I know what it's gonna be ish. So it's like I'm not trying to like eagerly get it to plan my next turn. It's like a little. There's always this thinking ahead element.
And the rules don't actually allow for this, but the house rule way that I play Aeon's End is that as long as your deck was not shuffled or something, you can look at it at any time. Like you can look at what the top card of your deck. Like if you were to play a card that lets you draw a card, what would you draw? Like that is known information. And I don't like memory games, so it's knowable information. You could be taking notes or something.
Right.
So I always I think you're welcome to peek at that in my book. Anyway, let's get fucked up by the nemesis. So the Crust Smasher is going to deal 2 damage to Gravehold. And then Crack. Any player suffers 2 damage. Any player discards a gem and then assists. So it doesn't have to be the same person.
I can discard a gem because I'm gonna still be able to have a lot of money next turn. So I can discard that.
You do the gem, I'll take the damage.
Okay.
And then assists. Give us the next assist card.
Of course. Desmodia's Assault. Desmodia drops down from above, her hands beginning to glow as power spreads along her arms. A burst of light escapes her, crushing into Maelstrom as it lets out a pained screech. Desmodia deals 10 damage to Maelstrom.
Hell yeah.
That seems great.
Okay.
All right. Our allies are really solid in this.
Yeah, they're a lot better than us.
Yeah, yes. We're like trying to deal with the bugs, and they're like, let us take care of this meteor hurtling towards our city.
It's funny because you didn't really have the Aeon's End context necessarily, but when I first played this, I mentioned I've started this campaign and not finished it. We set this up and we were like, what the fuck? Like 99 health, it starts with a minion in play? Like, how is this doable? And then as we started drawing these cards, we're like, oh, I see what it's doing here.
Yeah.
But we were very like on that roller coaster. Anyway, it is actually another Nemesis turn.
Oh yeah, another 2.
More Crust is smashed, and then a Mantle Augur enters play. It has 8 health. But it says immediately assist, and and its persistent effect is Gravehold suffers 1 damage.
So draw a new card here. Malistar's Boon. Malistar stumbles from a cloud of debris, coughing and covering his mouth. It's up to you now, he wheezes. This will help. Any player gains a gravity node from the supply and places it into their hand.
Whoa.
What is a gravity node?
That is this specific card from the market. Yeah, it is the most expensive spell. It says any player discards a card in hand if they do deal 4 damage. 4 is a good number of damage. That pops an entire minion. It costs us like an extra card when we cast it.
Would you like it since you haven't been buying as much damage stuff?
Yeah, actually that seems pretty good for me because also I would like an extra spell just for my next turn to have 2 in hand for that gem, or to have 2 prepped for that gem that rewards that, so it would work out well.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and take it.
Cool.
Places it in my hand, huh? Cool. Okay, that's it. That was the immediate effect on the minion. Its persistent effect happens later. All right. New turn order deck. Nemesis could get even more turns in a row. We will see.
That would be less than ideal. I think both of us have a pretty decent thing that we can do here, so it would be nice to...
If we get a couple turns, we're definitely at least killing that Crust Smasher that's doing 2 damage every Nemesis turn, so hopefully...
That's true. At least the thing that does more damage is easier for us to kill.
Yeah, that is nice. Nope, Nemesis. So between the two of them, 3 to Gravehold.
So Gravehold is down to 20 now.
Yikes. Acid Fog, it's power 2, so it's going to get 2 tokens that tick down. These things are also really bad if the Nemesis gets a lot of turns in a row.
I see.
So somebody to discard this from play could spend, it has to be done during a player's main phase, spend 6 ether. And then in 2 Nemesis turns, it will unleash, and then the player with the most open breaches suffers 1 damage. That's not crazy, although unleash is Gravehold suffers 3, so that's already sort of our worst situation here. Okay, that's its turn. I'm up.
But I mean, that 3 once is like, this is a bigger problem, I think. The 2, whatever these minions are a bigger problem than this unleashing once, I think, still.
I'd agree, yeah.
So like, I still think these are
still the priority.
Slightly the priority, but I mean, they're different resources that we're spending, so I don't know if it matters.
Yeah, so, because you are probably going before me, and you're going to deal exactly 2 damage, I think I want to use my Fire Chakram to do 2 to the Crust Smasher, and my Spark to do 1 to the Augur. And that way, when you deal an increment of 2 and definitely would want to kill this Crust Smasher, you're not wasting damage.
Yep.
So that's that logic. Okay, and then I have my Ethereal Hand. Any ally draws 2 cards. Why don't we start with that? You can draw 2.
Okay, cool. This is when it's going to get hard to remember my cards. Okay.
Okay, I have a Spark. I'll prep. And I have this Gravity Node. I definitely want to prep, but I need to do something about my breaches. So I think here's what I'll do. 2 crystals will gain me 2 ether. I'll use that to open this breach. Then I'll prep my Gravity Node in it. Then I'll play my Branching Radite. And now that I have 2 or more prep spells, it is generating 3 ether. And do I want a little bit more money? I think I will. I'll go ahead and take this Ancient Cyanolith, which just generates 2, but it might be a step towards being able to actually clear that if I get more turns or clear future ones.
Makes sense.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna put, so I can sequence, or so the card that I bought goes here. I can sequence all the cards that I played in my discard pile in any order. I think I want it. It's annoying. I would like to play Ethereal Hand as often as possible, but I also want to clump my good money cards together and try to have a big money turn, so I guess I'm putting it last. And once I draw 5, it is the Nemesis turn.
All right.
Wow, okay. So 3 damage to Gravehold.
Gravehold.
Acid Fog ticks down by 1. And then, so we need to leave potentially room for more Nemesis cards. Merciless Titan. 10 hit points, and Persistent, the player with the lowest life suffers 1 damage.
I think that's you.
It doesn't happen now. It'll happen on all future Nemesis turns. Yep. Luckily, now we know it's a while before the next Nemesis turn, so it's me again. Ah, damn it! This backfire. Well, kind of. It's not like it's gonna go again before you go. So I guess I will Spark. Oh, right, and I have this Gravity Node. Ooh. My hand is shit. My hand is 5 crystals. So I really don't mind. I'll be the one to discard the Gravity Node. Yeah, so I'll cast Gravity Node. Any player discards a card in hand. If they do deal 4 damage, I will discard that card to deal 4 damage. Should it be to the Augur or the Titan is mainly my question. I'll still leave you to finish off the Crust Smasher.
I feel like the Augur is... this right now is more pressing than 1 damage to one of us.
The fact that this does focus on it focus fires on the player with the lowest life is kind of scary, but we're still a ways from anyone being all that low. Okay, I'm with you. So I'll direct both of my spells at the Augur and deal 5 to it.
Yeah, it might just get you... Yeah, you're going to be a little bit lower, but I think I can take care of both of these at least. So then we can just start focusing the Titan pretty quickly here. So I think... it makes sense to take out those things first, maybe?
Yeah, I'd agree.
I just like less things on the map is really what makes me feel better.
Right. I'm actually looking at casting phase. I am, let's see. When a spell is cast, there we go. Okay. Despite me having played this game dozens of times, I still sometimes forget, because again, the discard pile, the discard stuff matters so much. Gravity Node goes into my, a spell goes into your discard pile before you resolve any of its text when you cast it. So the card that I discarded goes on top of it. That just matters because it matters. And then 4 crystals will buy me, I don't really want money right now because it would not be clumped with my other good money. So I guess I'll take an Incinerating Fist.
Seems good.
Yeah.
Get some damage output.
And then I'll draw 5. And I think we know that these turns are both you.
What a surprise.
Leaf is up.
All right. I will use the Fire Chakram to destroy the Crust Smasher.
Love it.
First. And then
That is a lot of bleeding stopped.
Yeah, I'm going to play the Spark. I'm going to play 2 crystals to focus my Breach to put in another Spark. And then I'm going to play my Branching Radite and my Gilded Marble to gain 6 more Ether. And I kind of feel like the relic. Oh,
yeah, that is also
this.
enough for the Acid Fog. That doesn't. Sometimes it's the right choice to let those go off and keep building your deck. But I just want to make sure you didn't forget that that's an option.
No, I definitely did forget. The extra $2 here, Ether made me forget about that. So it's really ally draws 2. I think we'll do this because we're already letting this roll.
Yeah, that's gonna do.
So I think we just get rid of this, and it's helping save Great.
Oh yeah, and the Acid Fog's damage would, if it goes off soon, target me because I have the most. I'm already being targeted by the Titan, and it would hit me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, that's cleared. Nice.
And go on top.
And I believe we know you are next.
And I have my cards here. So I must spark. I think I will spark the 2 augurs. Just kill.
Yeah. Just to get something off the table.
Yeah,
for sure.
And we took enough damage from these. I don't even want to risk seeing them again.
Discard pile here.
Up there. Thank you. And then I have 4 more crystals and an Incinerating Fist. So I'll just prep the Incinerating Fist. And with the extra 4, what's this? Neural Wreath. Focus any player's Breach. Any player may prep a spell in hand. We kind of have been getting more spells. I'm not sure if we're quite there. I mean, I feel like we're getting there pretty quickly.
Some of the value of that is just getting to do damage a little sooner, which can really matter for like taking minions off the table. But the minions are not too out of control right now. I don't know, whatever you think.
Because the other option with 4, I mean, I could do more money or I could do another fist. And I guess the fist is probably slightly better at this point in the game.
Yeah, I think I like that.
Because my money seems to be okay.
Just getting chunks of damage.
Yeah, so
nothing on this market is that expensive. They go up higher than these numbers in Aeon's End. Right now, this is not a market that really leads you to like need a whole bunch of the top tier gems.
Not a bunch of marbles needed.
All right, it could be you for the 3rd time. It is not. It's the nemesis. I'm fine with that. Spreading these turns out.
Yeah.
The Titan is going to damage me as the player with the least life, and Inflame, unleash twice. That is 6 Gravehold damage.
Yeah, that's rough.
The player with the fewest open breaches suffers 2 damage. That's you.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'd rather that than you.
And then we get assisted again.
Oh, great. Zaxos arrives. Zaxos appears beside you, one hand clutching his wounded side.
I've always said his name is Zazos, but Zaxos sounds way cooler. I like that. I'm switching to that. All right,
cool. Yeah, just like, this makes sense.
Zaxos is a really badass name. Yeah. All right, anyway, carry on.
I can fix this, he yells. He lashes solid black energy from his shadow across Maelstrom's shell, doubling over with pain. Zaxos stumbles through a breach and vanishes from battle. Zaxos deals 10 damage to Maelstrom. I like that.
Yeah.
Allies really coming in the clutch here. So down to a much nicer 69 damage than
Very nice.
99.
Yep.
And Gravehold has 11, so we're doing okay.
Yeah, Gravehold could be better. We don't have any. There's no cards in the market that heal Gravehold, huh? That is a thing. Gravehold is not like impossible to heal in this game, but it looks like it is impossible to heal in this setup. All right, that's good. I'm next. Well, A little bit of a slow turn for me. I have 2 spells I can prep, just a Chakram and a Spark. But then I do have Branching Radite, which is worth 3 when I have 2 prepped spells. Cyanolith worth 2, and Crystal worth 1, so I have 6. I could keep going with the Ethereal Hands, but I should probably just get myself like a, What does a Warping Haze do? Deal 2 damage. If you have 2 or more other prep spells, deal 1 additional damage. Okay, you know what I'll do is work towards getting my 3rd breach open. I will focus it just to get it closer and buy a Warping Haze. I'll try that one out.
Getting 2 Warping Hazes is actually an interesting idea too. Not that I suggest you to do it, but I think like the idea of getting 2 of them stacked up, in theory, seems pretty good.
The one problem with that is that since you do fully cast your spells in an order of your choice, but they get discarded, like the second one won't see the first one counting towards its prepped spells. Of course. So it's actually kind of like not one you want to stack a lot, I think.
Noted. Good to know. I'm glad
for that reason.
Brought that up now, because I would totally have tried that before.
All right, that's my turn.
Okay.
Next is you.
Awesome. I have
Which is good, because I already heard you inhale to start taking
I did. I 100% did. Yeah, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go. I didn't get to lose momentum. So I'm going to spend 2 and open my breach here.
Nice.
Then I will load my Fire Chakram on. And I now have a Gilded Marble and Branching Radite. So I have 6 more dollars, or ether. And I do think here I get an Ethereal Hand. Because I think my plan here is I want to get an Ethereal Hand and a Gravity Node. Those seem to be like the 2 cards that I want, because you have an Ethereal Hand. I think it's good to just make each other's hands better, ultimately.
Yeah. And the extra discards to Gravity Node kind of go well with drawing extra cards too.
Yeah, so then we both kind of have some type of other powerful spell, and I just think having that, and it's the most damage that we have available. So
agreed.
That's kind of where I'm going. So I'm going to spend my 6, and now that I have the 6 for the Ethereal Hand, that's going to go here.
Nice.
And then these all go to my discard.
While you clean up. Oh, next turn is yours.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, not 6.
Not 6.
Don't know why I did that. But I have a bunch of damage. I am going to fire this. So we'll just do 5 to the Titan.
Love that. It has 5 left.
And
there's one more Nemesis turn in there? Okay, it's Nemesis or me next.
This is actually working out kind of cool. So I'm going to spend 2 of my crystals to focus my breach, and then
this one costs 3 to focus. They have different costs. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
You ruined it.
I know. I hate to be the bearer of bad news every time you try to do something. I'm like, actually.
I can't even do anything with 2. That's just going to go away.
Yeah, I can buy a Fire Chakram if you want one.
Oh, I guess I could. There's no way to remove cards from my deck right now, right?
No. It's a thing in this game, but not, again, I don't see it in this setup either.
Well, I guess it is better than the Spark, and yeah, so I guess we'll buy another Fire Chakram.
Oh, I can see what you were doing. It's annoying because you have 3 spells in hand, so I really would have liked to focus that, huh?
Yeah, I would have liked to.
If only I had a Neural Wreath to let you prep that later.
Yeah, it is what it is. So we'll just do the Incinerating Fist and the Spark, and I guess this just goes away then?
It stays in your hand.
Oh, that's right.
Kind of for better or for worse.
Annoying.
Yeah. That's okay. I'll give you extra card draws.
All right, I'll take that. All right, all set.
Okay, and it's my turn. So I'll go ahead and fire off my spells, dealing 3 more to the Titan. Actually, you have a 3 damage spell. I don't have a lot of spells to prep. I'm going to leave the Spark just because it doesn't. It thins out my deck a little bit, leaving it out longer than I need to. Sorry, so it should have been 3 on here.
Oh, okay. It's like
3 left. It had 5. I dealt 2 to it. Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
And because you have an increment of 3 there. I will prep a Gravity Node. We don't have to discard to that until I cast it. And I'll play Ethereal Hand. You draw 2.
Oh, cool. This goes over here.
Yep.
And 1.
It is a snappy game as a result of, like, normally, or in a different deck building game, you would have had to stop and shuffle your deck in my turn, and if there was more interaction, I'd have to wait. But no, you just go.
It is much faster. That is true.
Yeah. 3 crystals will, I don't feel like my deck is improved very much by anything that costs 3, so I'm just going to open this breach just to have it open.
I think that's smart.
Okay. I think it's the Nemesis turn next. Yes. So the Titan is going to hit me as the person with the lowest life. And then Desmodia's Flare immediately assists draw and resolve a new nemesis card, but also it's going to stay out with power 4.
That's us.
And in power 4, oh wait, this says power 4 assist. Desmodia deals 40 damage to Maelstrom.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So we just have to survive four nemesis turns, and the job will be mostly done.
Yeah. Okay, so we assist now.
Assist
too, right?
now, and then there will be, I'm putting this out so we don't forget, another nemesis card.
Desmodia's plan. The next time you see Desmodia, she's fully glowing. A sparkling pattern seems to lift off her skin, lighting the rubble around her. Her body is encased in swirling energy as she lifts off the ground. Keep holding, apprentices. My attack is nearly ready. Just a few moments longer.
Oh, so nothing actually happens on that card. It
No.
just set up the mechanic here. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so as you can see, these were not shuffled. It's a very scripted kind of starting scenario. Wow, Unleash, which is going to be Gravehold, suffers 3.
Oh, yeah.
And then any player suffers 4 damage, which I guess should be you. Otherwise, I'd be down to 1 and the
then-
Titan would kill me. So, but that's a lot of damage.
4.
Suffer 4, yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Okay. Well,
I would really like to kill that Titan before it goes again.
yeah. Me too. And either of us can do it, so as long as the Nemesis doesn't take the next turn. Okay. It's you.
Hey, all right. We are going to kill that Titan.
Love
First
it.
things first. Get that out of here. Do I want to just play that to play that? Or do 1 damage to Maelstrom? We're probably going to have to defeat Maelstrom anyway.
I would guess it'd be nice to do a little damage to it. Yeah, I don't really remember this well enough to know whether the assist deck does all the work for us.
Oops, not that way. I'll ping it for damage.
All right.
because I have it. And now I will prep Ethereal Hand and prep a Spark.
Oh, you don't prep Ethereal Hand. That's a relic. That happens.
Oh,
right
that
away.
just
Yep, that just
fires.
happens. So I'll draw 2 cards.
Yeah, please
Thanks. Ooh, that definitely changes my turn.
Good. I hope it's, good. So, and then I have a bunch of ether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I might just open this.
Whoa. Sure.
Because I'm just going to open it.
Okay.
We're just going to do it.
All right.
I have
It's opened.
all my breaches are opened.
And that's your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay. Next is the Nemesis. All that's going to happen is Desmodia's Flare timer ticks down, and a Temple Cutter, 11 hit points, but immediately assist. And its persistent effect is any player suffers 2 damage and discards a card in hand. Woof. Okay.
It's annoying. Well,
Yeah.
good thing we have these ethereal hands already.
True.
Mist Inferno. You watch fire streak above your head. You follow the smoky trail back to Mist, perched atop a crumbling building, throwing flame as fast as she can. We've done all we can. Help Desmodia finish off Maelstrom, she commands. Mist deals 15 damage to
Ooh,
Maelstrom.
Okay.
So our allies really are champs here.
So what's it at now? 53?
53, yes.
So, I mean, we now have sort of a decision point, and this is very much, this is one of the biggest kind of table decisions in Aeon's End, is when do you start ignoring minions and going for the Nemesis? Because it's 11 to kill this minion, but if we just do 13 to the Maelstrom, then the 40 from Desmodia will finish it. So can we just endure this until then? But this would fire at least 3 times, right? As that ticks down. I don't know. I guess we can see
Yes.
who's next and make the decision as we go. It's me. Well, damn. I have to make that decision now. Am I dealing my 5 damage from my spells to the cutter, or
Taking 3 damage, or taking that 3 times, would be 6.
and which
is most of our
That's
hit
most of our health. That's pretty bad. And if one of us is exhausted to double unleash, that almost kills Gravehold. We probably just need to try to get this off the table.
Because I have damage.
Yeah. Like, and if I go twice in a row, I will just kill it. I have enough spells to prep that I would kill it on my next turn.
in this turn, so we each have 1 additional turn.
Yeah.
This turn.
Okay, I think we just kill the cutter.
Okay.
I think even if you say didn't get a turn, I can kill it on my next turn in this, so I can kill it before the Nemesis takes more than 1 more turn, making that only trigger once. That's probably the way to go.
Cool.
Otherwise, it's going to trigger 3 times, and that's, yeah. Okay. So I will Gravity Node, Any player discards a card in hand. If they do suffer 4 damage, I'm fine with that unless you particularly want to volunteer.
I just have a crystal I can pop, which the dollar ether doesn't make a trip.
Yeah, at this point, there's not a lot left to spend it on unless we get more powers we want to buy our way out of. So,
well, it'd be a gravity node. Basically, that would that would stop.
Oh, you were wanting a gravity node. Okay, I'll discard a crystal.
Okay.
So that was 4 damage, and I'm sparking for the 5th damage, so it's down to 6. And then I'm going to use all 3 of my breaches and prep an Incinerating Fist, a Warping Haze, and a Spark. And then 3 crystals. Well, I guess I'll buy another Warping Haze. Why not? Okay. Next turn. Oh, it's me.
Great.
I should probably draw my hand. Okay, so Warping Haze, I'll cast first because it deals extra damage if I have 2 or more other prep spells, so it'll deal 3 to the Temple Cutter. And Incinerating Fist will deal 3 more.
Seems good.
Single-handedly killed a giant metal praying mantis.
Before it even got to go.
Feels good. I will leave my Spark in play, I think. Since my breaches are not going to be full this turn, and 1 damage to Maelstrom is not interesting. I'll prep a Fire Chakram, play an Ethereal Hand. You draw 2 cards.
Ooh, great.
And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ether. Why not, I guess? I'll buy another Ethereal Hand. I'll just give you all the cards. They're going to be clumped. I can have a turn that just gives you 4 cards.
That's wild.
And it's your turn.
All right. So I will use my Spark to deal a damage to Maelstrom.
Nice.
I'm going to load up 2 Fire Chakrams and an Incinerating Fist. And I have 6 credits, $6. I will use it to buy a gravity node, I think.
Love it.
And yeah, last dollar will go. This should be a nemesis one, right?
It sure is.
Awesome.
Remove a power from the flare. Shockwave immediately assists, and in power 3, each player suffers 6 damage. Okay, so now that what this is, well, we'll see what the assist does, but now this is basically saying we'll probably win when Desmodius' flare goes off. But if we don't have it down to 40, we're likely to just lose to the 6 damage.
We will most certainly lose.
Yep.
Cool. Brahma's Rally. This is our last stand, Brahma cries out. We need to hold out just a little longer. Weaken Maelstrom enough so that Desmodia can deliver the final blow. Your mentor glows for a moment and fades. Suddenly, your wounds mend on their own. Any player gains 2 life.
Ooh, feels like that should be you. You have less than me?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't... The only downside is it technically, if one of us is over 6, it gives us a ton.
We survive a little bit if I'm sitting at 7 health, you're saying?
Yeah.
That's valid. All right, I guess I should probably...
I mean, based on how it's
take
going, I don't think it's going to come to that.
Yeah.
But I would rather have the turn, because I've seen you do 6 damage in a turn.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's smart. Okay.
Oh, I didn't draw my hand back.
Oh yeah, you should probably do that.
No, I didn't.
Here we go. New turn order deck. Starts with you, Leaf.
All right. So let me read. Oh yeah, we're letting it rip. So 2 for 7 damage.
Hell yeah.
To Maelstrom.
Maelstrom's at 45, and in 2 Nemesis turns, it's taking 40.
Seems good. Seems good. I will prep an Incinerating Fist and a Spark. I will Ethereal Hand you, so you can draw 2 cards.
Oh
And
wow! Now I have firepower.
Then I get 4 more. I guess we can prep another Incinerating Fist. Do these cards stay in our deck between?
No.
Okay, then
No,
yeah, let's just get another.
reset
Get some more damage.
Just as a reminder,
other
since
way.
yeah, sequence it gets discarded before the cards you played.
Yep. All right, that's me.
Okay. I'm not doing anything. Yeah, take both of those down, and it's Bladius. Cool. Just a 40 health minion. With immediately, the player with the fewest open breaches suffers 2 damage. We are tied, so we can just choose.
I'll just eat it.
All right. That leaves me still surviving the
Player with the fewest. Yeah.
and
yeah,
persistent.
just in
The player
case.
with the fewest open breaches suffers 2 damage. Well, since we're tied, we can choose me on the next time that triggers if it does.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's the Nemesis turn. Frosty. Okay. Well, I don't think we're doing 40 to Bladius, so I think this is if anything else, this is a nice tutorial of the concept I was talking about, which is identify when to pivot to the nemesis.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and blast Maelstrom for 3. And then just prep, spell, 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 and I have 4 crystals. I'll just buy that last Incinerating Fist, why not, I guess.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're gonna annihilate this thing.
Oh, it's me again.
There you go.
Okay.
I can easily discard.
Yeah, so can I. I'll just do it. I will cast Gravity Node for 4, discard a card to it. Oh, sorry, let me sequence it. Warping Haste first since it gets the buff. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total damage.
8 total damage,
Yeah.
so we go from 42 to 36.
That's only 6.
That is 6.
42 to 34.
To 34.
Prep spells? Throw away 2 crystals, I think. I could buy a Fire Chakram, but I'm not gonna draw whatever I buy. So
I feel like at this point we're just waiting for this to draw to the nemesis.
yep, and we got to keep waiting because it's your turn.
That's fine. We'll throw 4 damage at it just in case there's something that happens if we overkill it, which I don't think there will be. But so go down to 30.
Nice.
And this isn't a very good turn. I just have 4. I'm not going to buy anything because I don't want to.
Okay. Next should be the nemesis. So, power 4 assist. I'm guessing that we should read that because it probably is the flavor text that goes with this 40 damage blast.
Yeah.
It's going to deal 40 damage.
Oh, and it's the last card in the deck.
Oh, perfect.
Desmodia's Bombardment. Desmodia continues to rise in the air, radiating so brightly it's difficult to look at her. You did well buying us time. Now I can end this. Take care of Gravehold. The cavern walls are rocked to their core as Desmodia releases all of her stored energy at Maelstrom.
She deals 40 damage.
40 damage.
It's at -10.
-10.
We win.
We win. Well done.
Easy as that. Yeah, as long as you just have an entire team of the veteran breach mages supporting you. Easy game. Yeah,
Easy.
Turns out.
No problem. Surely that's what the assist deck is always like that, right? Just deals
Yeah.
tens
The
of
assist
damage.
deck that we will always have.
Yeah, they're our friends, the Fellowship. The Fellowship is with us now. We've saved everybody.
I'll let you believe that for a few moments here. It sounds like a nice thought.
Yeah, seems nice to me.
All right, this says, if you won, read the back of this card. You watch from the edge of the caverns as Desmodia faces off against Maelstrom. One bright light against the terrible darkness. Luckily, you managed to do the impossible. Hold off Maelstrom's minions long enough to safely evacuate Gravehold. The survivors huddle behind you, terrified, as Desmodia erupts before them. The entire cavern shakes and collapses. Towers fall and buildings crash down upon Maelstrom, burying it underneath a mountain of rubble. Your home, Gravehold, is no more. At least you led many of its citizens to safety. We read the back of card 4. Gravehold is gone, lost beneath the rubble along with your friends, teachers, Desmodia, and most of the other mages. That fellowship you were looking forward to.
Yeah, we
Got a little bit crushed.
we skipped ahead a little bit farther than I anticipated.
Yeah. You recognize Mist and Malistar among the survivors tending to the wounded. Okay, so some of them made it through. Zaxos, that's good, I like that.
Cool.
Zaxos is among them, his eyes hollow. This is your fault, Mist screams at him, tears in her eyes. Zaxos backs away slowly. I didn't mean to, I was only trying to protect us. His words become unclear as a dark breach opens behind him. Close it, Zaxos, Brahma shouts, I beg you. Zaxos vanishes into the void, his last words echoing in the tunnel. I'm sorry. It takes a true ordeal to access your inner power, Brahma explains. While others search for survivors, you will train with me. Only then will you be able to serve the survivors of Gravehold. So it says to follow the end game instructions on page 20 of the rulebook. So I guess let me do that because in a legacy game, sometimes that matters a lot. Game end. At the end of the game, we return to the supply, all cards in our deck, reset the starting decks and hands, reset our breaches. The rest of this is stickers that if this game had been a fresh copy, it would not be there. So, okay, never mind. Yeah, we just reset our decks. Each player finds. So, yeah, I guess that's not too hard. Let's just do that really quick. Is send things back to the market because I think that matters for sort of the between game legacy stuff.
Okay.
Keep all your crystals and sparks, and everything else should be a card from the market. Let's see, incinerating fists, fire chakra, gravity node. Okay, it's a little messy, but who cares?
Yeah.
Each player finds the card that matches their mage from legacy deck cards 6 to 13. Banish the other cards. So, let's see. I'm Frosty Boy. You are. They're so hard to tell apart.
Oh, wait.
Just choosing the one that matches your
Actual
character art. Yeah.
Oh, this one.
Okay. The rest of these we won't be needing. We're just taking the ones that match our characters. Open Insight 1. Insights are the sticker sheets that I have awkwardly off camera here. Here we go. Why don't you peel off Insight 1?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's like a... Oh, a lot of them are sticker sheets, so be careful that they don't like peel off when you do this. There we go.
All right. Ooh, lots of stickers. Okay. Insight number 1, starter card effects.
Okay.
So there's a number of stickers here.
Yeah.
That do different things.
And this then says, each player chooses one of the starter card effects and adds it to their card. Place the starting hand sticker. So this starting hand sticker is going to override here where it says we start with 4 crystals and 1 spark, and instead you will start with your individual specialized card, 3 crystals and a spark going forward. Oh. Choose a name for your starter card and write it on the card and the blank space on the open hand sticker. Banish a crystal from your hand. Banish means remove from the campaign. And we'll read back this card. So we each get to choose one of these spell or gem effects to customize the card that will now be part of our starting hand every game.
Oh.
So yeah, you can either make it a spell. It looks like they mostly do 1 damage and an extra upside, or gems mostly gain 1 ether and have an upside. I always love healing. So I'm looking at this gem that says gain an ether if you have 3 or more open breaches, gain a life.
That seems pretty good.
I don't see any Gravehold healing here, which is sort of the scariest thing in that game, but...
No, I do not see that at all. Oh, interesting. So it really kind of like encourages you to play into a certain style.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And this is something that when you're not playing Legacy and you're playing you're choosing a character to play as, they always have at least one like signature card that is generally along these lines. It's something small because you start with it at the start of the game, so it's not going to be like an overly powerful card, but it pushes you in a direction for that mage's play style. So that's sort of what's happening here. We're just getting to customize it as we go.
That's cool.
Yeah. So why don't I'll go ahead and take that one.
Yeah, sure.
Gain an ether. If you have 3 or more open breaches, gain a life. So in the late game, it will heal me and I can be a little bit of a damage tank.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I actually don't know. An ally may discard a spell in hand and draw a card. Cycling is pretty good. You may cast one of your prep spells that cost 4 or less. Oh, so you can cast something that you put into play that turn. Focus a breach, deal 1 damage. If your discard contains 4 or more other cards, deal 2 additional. If you discard tile, 4 or more other cards.
Which would happen the first turn of the game, right? This starts in your opening hand. So
right.
If you discard... Oh, wait, no, but it starts in your opening hand and you'll have a spark. So you're actually unlikely to have 4 cards in your discard pile early in the game.
Oh, so it takes place of a crystal. Okay. It taking place of a crystal is actually good to know. I'm kind of then... It almost sounds like the economy swing early, because I'm assuming there's almost always going to be some type of gems.
I think that there will generally be 3 gems, 2 relics, and 4 spells making up the market, even though the market will evolve. Yeah.
But that's not great after the turn 1. Oh man, there's so many decisions. Okay, I'm just going to gain 1 and cycle? Oh man. Which one of these? I'm going with one of these two. Sorry.
An ally can discard a card from hand, then draw a card. Like, that's pretty good.
Especially as the game gets going.
Yeah, gain 2 that can only be used to gain it up. I don't know. I like those top 2 a lot. Also, gaining 2 that can help you just right off the bat buy a more expensive gem. It's pretty good too.
Yeah, it feels like these are good at different parts of the game. Like this one, the first gem that lets you cycle is better as the game goes on. The second gem is really good early on. So, and it's tough because having a good early on is so helpful. But with that being said, I'm gonna go with the ally one. I think I'm gonna help you cycle, Because I think you cycling is going to ultimately push us both forward.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah,
It's just
so-
always a good thing in a deck building game.
Yeah.
Get through your deck faster, discard your worst cards. Like, yep, that makes sense. I'm trying to, so like, this is a healing card. I'm a Frost Mage. I'm trying to think of something that's like medical or healing-ish, but is also like ice or cold related. The only thing I've come up with is Wart Remover, which is not a compelling name for a cool card.
No, but you have the right idea. Like, you could do cryo something.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Because there's like cryotherapy and all this stuff. So like, you can use the frozen
That's good.
side
I hadn't landed on cryo.
and less
so I
move
just
away
went to-
from the warp part, but still kind of have that same mindset. You know?
Yeah, in fact, I think maybe I'll just name it. Even though I know it's a gem, so it should be named like it's a thing. But cryotherapy is like not bad. I think I'll just name it that. Cryotherapy. Any ideas for yours?
Let's see. Gain when an ally may discard a spell. So it kind of like a recycling thing. This is kind of what, or like that. What gives me the vibes of to recycle or like compost, but that also doesn't sound very cool.
Could just call it like.
But like flourishing decay is kind of cool.
What's the term for the value you get when you recycle a can? Redemption value?
Redemption value, yeah. Redemption code. I like flourishing decay now that I said it.
Flourishing decay. That's fancy.
It just sounds cool, you know.
I like
doesn't
it.
Mean anything.
I like it. And you're the green lifey looking archer mage.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that. Random words.
Okay. And then
Now I have to spell it though, or else the internet's gonna make fun of me forever.
oh yeah, that's true.
Flourishing decay. Oh man. I have not done myself.
And it's in permanent marker.
Oh shit.
And we are.
Decay I got. Flourishing is tough, but I'm
going to reach over and banish a crystal for you while you do that.
allowed. Okay.
Flourishing decay. Yeah,
I think
you got it.
looks right.
Yeah, that's right. And then you stick that sticker on, overwriting your starting hand.
Cool.
And also fill in the name there. While you do that, I will go ahead and read the back of this card.
Gotta write it again.
You do. Yeah. You can spell it different this time if you want.
Do I get the card then?
We'll ask on their Discord. Yeah.
Then it's not the same card. It's got a different name.
Okay, we banished the Maelstrom Nemesis mat, Nemesis deck, and assist cards. So basically, all of these Nemesis components are not used in future games, which makes sense because it was all this weird scripted stuff.
Sure.
Open stop 1D deck. So I need to awkwardly reach over here, find deck 1D. Okay, turns out it was right here. I just put the 1B on top of it.
But I would also like to point out, while we were off camera, like, let's just write our
we have
name.
to?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yes, we do. We have to, let's look at the name of our cards here. And then immediately, what did you write? What's the name of the card that you get?
Cryotherapy, and I wrote cryotherapy. Well, I got as far as cryothar. That had to fix it. So my perfect my perfect calligraphy is ruined.
And to your credit, you noticed it immediately, and I did not need to say anything. But I had to bring it up.
And you had just been celebrating how nicely you wrote Flourishing Decay in that little box.
Yeah, and
it's gorgeous.
The best I've ever written in my whole life, and I was very proud of
myself. If there was a time to do it, it was now.
That's true.
Yeah.
When you guys are gonna see it.
Okay, so we're opening deck 1D. This contains our supply upgrades. We get to replace 2 supply piles in the current supply with supply piles of the same types from this, so that there's always 3 gems, 2 relics, and 4 spells in the supply. Banish the cards we did not choose and the ones we removed. So our options are a relic called Geophage that says, gain an ether, you may destroy a gem in hand.
Okay.
Which destroying in hand is kind of costly because it means you're not playing it, but this can get rid of your sparks and crystals as the game goes on. I'm a big fan of culling and deck building games, so I like that one.
It can get rid of your sparks?
There's oh no, I'm sorry, destroy a gem in hand.
Okay.
Not your sparks. You're right. We can get rid of our starting cards if we want.
Yeah. Still
they're gems.
Getting rid of those crystals are good, yeah.
Right. Oh, I meant our specialty cards.
Oh, those are gems
our
as well.
gems because we chose gem options. Yeah. There's the Crumbling Compound that says gain 2. You may discard a gem in hand if you do gain an additional 2 either. And
Really good.
And it costs 5. Like I think that's probably better than the Gilded Marble, which costs 6 to just generate 3.
Agreed.
And there's Bending Beam. 5 cost, cast to deal 2 damage. If this spell was cast from an opened 3 breach, deal 3 additional damage.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, then there's yet another. And Breach Flare. 3 cost to deal 2 damage. Focus any player's 3 breach.
Cool.
So those two very much set each other up.
Yeah.
Right? To help focus each other's 3 breaches, get them open, and then cast the Bending Beams out of it.
Yeah.
So like, it kind of feels to me like we take both of those spells or we take the Relic and the Gem. I mean, I don't know. I think Bending Beam is great. I think it's better than Gravity Node.
I think it's really good. I guess if we get that focus thing, then it gives Neural Wreath an additional value, because this is the card neither one of us bought the Neural Wreath.
Yeah, I think if we take Geophage, it replaces that.
Yeah.
Probably what we should do.
But I think, to your point, we can also upgrade 2 of our damage spells now, and maybe this is useful, and if not, then we can replace it afterwards. Because I feel like if this were to really benefit, maybe doing it when we don't want to pay for focusing stuff is the time to try it. Right.
Yeah, so, okay, it kind of goes against everything I stand for to not take the thing that kills our deck in a deck building game, but I'm up for I think
I agree
upgrading
with
the spells is...
Yeah, I mean...
It's fun. And these two synergize in a clear way that makes that feel good.
And it adds like a lot of the high end, right? Because we upgraded these to help us get through this stuff too, or go through cards. So I don't know. We can try it.
All right, let's go for the spells. I'm thinking Gravity Node because they're the same cost, and I think Bending Beam is better.
Yeah.
Once we have our 3 breach, this deals 5 without a discard versus 4, and someone has to discard a card. So I feel like that. What do we take out for the Breach Flare is a little tougher.
Deal 2 damage, focus any. Deal 2 damage, focus.
Like it's most similar to the Fire Chakram, although it is one more expensive, so it's not. So it does increase our overall like supply.
Yeah, I would
expensiveness.
Like the Fire Chakram or the Warping Haze would be the 2 that make sense. The problem is like I mean
maybe it's the Warping Haze.
Yeah, because
we're already now we're bending. We don't need to warp.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
Okay, all right, that'll go there. Banish cards you did not. I'll clean up the table in a moment. When you're ready to start Chapter 2, read the front of Legacy card 14. So that's it.
That's it.
That's the start. Chapter 1 of Aeons and Legacy. We did it. We crushed it.
Yeah, absolutely crushed it. I feel really good about that.
Actually. Yeah, and we've upgraded our supply. It can only get easier from here, I think. Yeah. Nice. Well, that was fun. Thank you for playing the game with me.
Of course, this is great. This is super cool. I immediately was like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna shuffle up and go again, and like. Yeah, I'm in. This is cool.
And and you and I have played a lot of Arkham together lately on camera. You can check that out on the channel. This game is way snappier than Arkham.
Yes.
Like, this video, including we had a pause and an intro and an outro, we're at 1 hour and 4 minutes, whereas our Arkham games were 2.5 hours. So like this is I don't want every time that I sit down to play a game, and especially all of our videos, to be 2+ hours. So
yes,
I'm very happy to be playing something that's a little tighter.
And I feel like even exactly. Our turns are going quicker, and we're taking a lot more turns faster too.
Yep.
So it's like it's a different style of game, very different style of game.
Right.
It's very satisfying to play though still. And that's the important thing about deck builders, because it's like a lot of these mechanics, when you were explaining it to me earlier too, it's like a lot of these mechanics are not super different from a lot of the other deck builders. So it's like, how are you using the mechanics to do something that's engaging and interesting? And adding the story deck and this kind of monster element where it feels like there are larger things happening is a really cool way to make to revitalize, or another good look at a deck building.
Right. Yeah.
Game.
And I'm sure we'll wax more about Aeon's End as we go through it. But yeah, I love how it shifts. Like the game still has luck in it, particularly in the turn order deck when you're in trouble. But it shifts the luck. Like I don't know. Without the shuffling, it's a way more. You have way more agency, and the tactics are way more. Kind of under your control than deck building games where you're shuffling your deck, because it's not draw my hand that could be anything, who knows, I shuffled, and figure out what I can do with it. It is actually like a bigger create a plan that you'll draw these cards definitely together or in this order and act accordingly. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Cool. Well, I think we will be back to continue this campaign soon. So please make sure you are subscribed to Optimal Play, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Till next time, be optimal.